If you're one of the few people that watch both my short and long form videos, then you know I think that Dexter Original Sin was always going to be a difficult show to get right for a lot of reasons. Now, if you watch my recent long form video on the show, then you also know that I think that the writers made a huge narrative mistake making Captain Spencer this season's big bad. But the latest episode of Dexter Original Sin, though not without its issues, I found to be the most useful episode of the show so far. In it, we learned exactly how Laura Moser got caught and why her and her children were kidnapped by Hector Estrada's goons and put into the shipping container where, if you've seen the original show, you understand is where she will ultimately meet her untimely end, and her two sons will be traumatized to the point of putting themselves on the path of becoming two of the most prolific serial killers in U.S. history, in the world of the show, that is. Now, we see how the colored fingernails that Dexter's brother Brian, aka the ice truck killer, became a thing, and we also learned that Brian knew about Harry's affair with his mother, and that he remembered years later Dexter calling Harry Dad. We also got to see a snapshot of the relationship we heard so much about between Maria LaGuerta and Miguel Prado in Season 3 of the original show. Now, these are all things, especially the ones pertaining to Brian and Laura Moser directly, that connect this show to the original one in what I viewed as a meaningful way. The LaGuerta and Miguel thing just kind of being a fun little Easter egg of sorts. Now, the only other thing of any real consequence that happened in this particular episode is that we find ourselves inching ever closer to Dexter officially revealing Captain Spencer's secret. You know, the one that he's the killer Miami Metro has been searching for all season long, and that he kidnapped and mutilated his own son in the process, which I still think is absolutely batshit. Anyway, I like this episode, and despite my issue with the show's existence, I don't think it's a bad show in its own right. I simply think it will do more harm than good in the greater context of Dexter's story and his legacy. But if you want to hear more about what I think as it pertains to the show's narrative contribution to the overall legacy of one Dexter Morgan, be sure to check out the link in the description.